Today we resume the lesson about cells, fundamental unit of life. Already covered these topics. Make sure you do them before moving ahead with this video. To cover in this lesson are the cell organelles, lysosomes, ribosomes, vacuoles and centrosomes. The structure, function and diagrams of all of these. Lysosomes are small vesicles. You recall Golgi complex, which packs and secretes proteins. Now some of these proteins packed in Golgi complex are enzymes. Very strong enzymes capable of breaking down both food as well as anything that the cell feels is dangerous for it. These enzymes are packed in special double membrane bags so that the enzyme is not secreted out accidentally. These bags are then known as lysosomes. So what does lysosome do for the cell? It fuses with the food vacuole and helps in the digestion of food. Now at times when the cell is starving, energy can be derived by eating the cell component itself. So if the cell is starving, the lysosome helps the cell to eat the cell components for nutrients. Now when there is a certain infection which the cell is not able to handle, then lysosome destroys the cell like a bomb, killing the cell as well as the infection. It also helps in breakdown of toxic substances such as phenols. Now for all these reasons, we call lysosome as suicide bags, and we also call the lysosome as scavengers of the cell. Now you try to understand why or which function of lysosome leads us to this term, that is scavenger. Now the next one that we do is ribosomes. We've already studied a bit about ribosomes in previous class. They make proteins. So they are the site of protein synthesis. We call them the factories of proteins. They are embedded on endoplasmic reticulum, making it appear as rough endoplasmic reticulum. But it may also be present freely in the cell's cytoplasm. They are also present inside mitochondria and plastids. So mitochondria and plastids have their own protein synthesis factories. Now as you can see in the image, ribosomes are made up of two subunits, a large subunit and a small subunit. So it contains two subunits. Now we studied two types of cells, the prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cell. Ribosome is present in both of them, but in prokaryotic cells, ribosome is smaller and we call it 70S, and in eukaryotes it is larger, we call it 80S. Now the ones present in mitochondria and plastids are also smaller like the prokaryotes, they are 70S. Now some additional information. What does S stands for in 70S and 80S? S stands for Swedberg unit. Now we have studied about sedimentation. This is sedimentation. Now you can see some substances settle down faster than the others. Others take slightly more time. So the ones which settle faster are said to have higher Swedberg unit, and those that take a little more time have lower Swedberg unit. So Swedberg unit means how fast a substance settles down during sedimentation. Vacuoles are these large balloon-like structures which are filled with a watery solution. The membrane of the vacuole is known as tonoplast. Now what you see here is a plant cell. In a plant cell, the vacuole is large, so large that everything else is pushed to a corner. In animal cells, vacuole is smaller. Now, what are vacuoles? Fluid-filled cavities enclosed in membrane known as tonoplast, large in plant cells, pushing other organelles to sides. Now, can you think of a reason why plant cell would need a bigger vacuole? Maybe when we cover the functions, you'll be able to answer this. So the functions of vacuole are, in plant cells, it stores solids such as amino acids, sugars, etc. and some important liquids also. It provides rigidity to cells. In unicellular organisms, it helps in nutrition and osmoregulation. Now, can you answer the question why a plant cell would need a bigger vacuole? Animal cell will not. Now, finally, these are the vacuoles, which are storage containers of cells. What we are going to do is unique because it is present only in animal cells. Now, can you see where it is located? Just above the nucleus, like a crown on the king's head. Now, it is made up of two centrioles, and these two centrioles are perpendicular to each other. Now, what is their function? They help the cell to divide. So, just before the cell has to divide, these centrioles separate and go to two opposite ends of the nucleus. Now we have finished all cell organelles that we were supposed to do. This is the diagram of an animal cell and a plant cell. I'll be sharing a few more simple diagrams with you. You can choose which you find easier to draw. You can practice that. Next, you'll find and tabulate the differences between plant and animal cells. Try to find at least 5 differences. Now, question time. With this, we come to the end of our class. Try to solve these questions. That's all for now. Bye-bye. Take care.